All right, welcome y'all to our team call, Team Plant Strong call. We are trying something new on Tuesday nights and gonna see how it goes. We know that schedules are fickle and hard this time of year, but it's so important to come together every week and see each other's faces and just encourage each other and learn together and have that motivation and that these tools that you can just directly put into your business tomorrow or tonight that are so valuable. So tonight I'm super excited to be training on how to build a business beyond events. And this training is actually Casey Elmore's brainchild. And so hopefully I can do it justice. But the funny thing is tonight, we're talking about how to build a business beyond events, and she's actually at an event, which is why she's not on the call. Kind of ironic, right? Well, the reality is we recommend doing events and the ideas that we're sharing tonight to build your business. It isn't just one or the other, but we know there's seasons in your business where you can do more events, and there's seasons where you need to take other approaches to keep the ball moving forward. And so tonight we're gonna jump into some of those ideas and hopefully just give you some practical things that you can do. I have some verbiage for you guys. I'm gonna share my screen in a minute so you guys can take screenshots of some of the verbiage and have that, save it to your phone, save it as a picture, have a Juice Plus photo album on your phone, save that picture so it's easy for you to find it. But before I'm going to talk about two different ways that we do business beyond events. And the first is actually something we've done trainings on in the past. So if you want some more in-depth information on this, you can look back on our Team Plant Strong YouTube and find some other trainings, but it's really attraction marketing. So one way we build our business beyond events is attraction marketing. And this is really putting out content to draw people to ask you about your business. This is a great strategy, but it fails to deliver if it's your only strategy for growing your business, because you have no control over if people message you or when they're gonna message you. So if you're working on a goal, using just attraction marketing is really a hard way to move your business forward to reach your goals in a timely manner. We do recommend attraction marketing as a consistent piece of your business building strategy. And it really complements the direct business building techniques we're going to talk about tonight. So here, really quick, I want to go over some examples of attraction marketing so you guys can just be thinking of ways that you can do this into your daily DMO, your daily strategy. So one example is live videos, a 14-day challenge. Several people on our team, you probably saw them going live for 14 days and they hashtagged 14-day challenge. I know Lindsay Lowry did this, Ashley Bright, Megan Martin, Casey Elmore. So if you have questions about kind of what that did for their business or why they were doing it, I encourage you to reach out to some of them on the side and ask them. But really, they just went live by going live 14 days in a row on a social media platform. They're able to boost their visibility on social media and their credibility. People are seeing them as someone who is consistently putting out value. It's going to increase their followers and make the algorithm on social media help people see their content more frequently. So that's really kind of one way to do attraction marketing is really get consistent in doing live videos. And you can do surges like that. You can have like a weekly live video or, have certain days of the week that you go live. But it doesn't have to be long and drawn out. It can be short and sweet. It can be on a topic. For a while last year, I did Wellness Wednesday videos. And so you can kind of make it your own. The second part of attraction marketing is consistently adding value. So some examples of consistently adding value are sharing recipes, sharing tips to help combat the cold or flu, which I'm going to be doing on a webinar tomorrow. So if you guys have anyone with toddlers that you want to invite to learn, reach out to me after this call and I can give you the the Zoom information, but I'm going to be doing a live training on that. Introducing people to something helpful and new that they may not have heard of. So maybe you're sharing a vegan brownie dip that you found at Aldo, right? Or Aldo, it's a shoe store. Aldi, you guys, Aldi, so maybe it's sharing something yummy and exciting that you found at a grocery store, or maybe it's sharing an acupuncture pillow. That's something I just started using and that I just got. And so I'm going to be able to do a post and share with people about this acupuncture pillow, and maybe people haven't heard of that before and maybe it can help them. So that's going to be an added value piece that I'm going to do. Doing book reviews, reading books and sharing your thoughts on them and talking to people about things that might interest them about the book, sharing your life hacks or health hacks. All of these things are things people like to see. It gives them value in their life. It's something they didn't know and now they do. It's something that they can remember or try, like a recipe, or think about or research more, and you're just adding value to their daily life. The third part of attraction marketing is consistent call to action. This is asking for someone to do something. So putting polls on Instagram or Facebook stories. So that's when you have like the little poll and it says yes or no. You can change that to say like, send me the video or tell me more, or, you can have people say they want more info or want a recipe or want an invite to an event. It's posting maybe a yummy food picture and asking people to comment if they want the recipe, or asking people to comment or message to get a freebie. Maybe you're giving away the free complete recipe booklet that's on the Healthy Living Revolution or Healthy Living Revolution cookbook, or asking people to comment or message to get samples, because you're talking about cold and flu season and immune boosting. So there's so many ways to have a call to action, but that's definitely a way to get people to come to you. Live videos, consistent adding value, and then consistently having a call to action. So now we've kind of gotten through attraction marketing piece. So we're going to switch into really kind of the meat of our training is all about having direct conversations. And sometimes this can feel strange or uncomfortable, but the reality is we all tell people about things directly all the time, even if they don't ask for it, and even if we don't know them well. How many times have you recommended something to a friend, something in a grocery store aisle to a stranger who was looking at the same thing? I've done this at Trader Joe's. I was looking for some crackers and someone was like, oh, these are amazing with this. And they were giving me a recommendation, even though I didn't ask for it. And even though I didn't know them, but I wasn't offended. I was grateful. How many times have you told a friend that they have to try this hairstylist, or they have to try the pizza at this place, or they need to go to your nail salon, right? You are always recommending and sharing things with people, even without them asking you. And so our business and our product should not be any different. And ultimately, what makes it easier and more comfortable is practice. We just have to practice it and get into a rhythm and find our voice. It's not really as much what you say, but it's more how you say it, using your own voice. So let's dive into 3 different groups of people that we can have direct conversations with. So the first is your hot market, okay? These are the people in your inner circle, your daily life, semi-close family or friends. So people that are your neighbors, people you see at church every week, people that are in your life group at church, people that you see at this, maybe you talk to at your kids' games every week. Like there's just these people that are kind of in your daily life. So I want you guys to think about, is there anyone in your inner circle, your daily life, who you're semi-close to, or you talk to frequently, that you have not intentionally shared the product or business with? So I want you to think about that. And if names come to mind, I want you to write them down, because we're going to get to an exercise later where you're going to need that. But I want you to just write down names of anyone in your daily life. Maybe it's your hairstylist that you see every 6 to 8 weeks. Maybe it's, someone else you do business with, but you've become friends now. Just think about that and write that down. So I want you to ask yourself, like, why have I not intentionally shared Juice Plus with them? Why have I not shared my business with them? Maybe it's fear. Is fear stopping you? Well, I want you to think about this. If you don't tell them about Juice Plus and your business and what you're about, one or two things are going to happen. Number one, they may never get to experience the blessings of our product or business. So they go their whole life without getting these plant powders in their body. Who knows what's going to happen down the road with their health, right? Or who knows what's going to happen down the road with their finances. They may not know that there's this amazing business opportunity that they can do in the cracks and crevices of their time to build some residual income. So that's number one. Or number two, they may order or sign up from someone else. Right? I literally had this happen. I, hadn't told someone about it yet. And then before I even realized, like, they were doing it with someone else. They were on the business with someone else. They were ordering the products from someone else. I mean, in 10 years, this has happened. And so which is worse? Is it worse for them to never get to experience or know about something that could help them now or in the future? Or is it worse for them to do it, get on it with someone else? I don't know. You tell me. But if you do tell them about our products and our mission and our business, they can either A, be interested, which is awesome, and you can help them get more information and get them on the path to ordering or being on your team, or B, they can say no. Simple, right? That's not a big deal. They can say no, and at least they have the choice, right? They have the choice. They get to make that choice. So as you're thinking of someone in your hot market, here's a little example of how you can talk to them. So I'm going to go through the examples, and then at the end, I'm going to pull up my screen and you guys can take screenshots of these. So think of something, you have this person in mind, let's say it's your neighbor, and let's think of something that has to do with that person. Maybe it's a recent conversation you had, or something you value about them or appreciate about them, or just something you know personally about them that you could easily bring up. So you want to start the conversation just be saying something like, hey, Susie, how's your week going? Or you could ask them something a little more personal, like, hey, Susie, how's your son's, or, are you guys getting over that bug you had? Or how, is this week, slower for you? Or, just like something general, but kind of personal. Or you can just start with, how's your week going? And then they would say something like, oh, it's going okay, blah, blah, blah. Who knows what they're going to say to you? And after they respond, you can say, oh, that's awesome, or that's hard. I'm sorry to hear that, or right. You're just going to respond with something really simple. And then maybe they asked you like, how's your week going? Or what, they might've asked you a question back. Right. And so then you can briefly answer their question in one sentence. And this is not like a time to catch up, but this is really just a simple greeting, right? So you want to keep this part short. And then after you respond to them about, oh, awesome to hear that. Glad you had a great week. Our week is pretty good too, or whatever. Then you personalize this message. You say, hey, I know this is random, but I have something I would love your thoughts on. So I know you are X. This could be, I know you're a super healthy mama. I know you're really successful in your real estate business. Whatever it is that you know about them, that you admire, that you respect about them, that could possibly give them be a reason you thought about them for your business, right? I know you are X. And then you say, I'm working on a project and I'd love to see if you're open to it, if it wouldn't interfere with what you are already doing. If not, no worries. So one of the big keys in direct outreach is giving them an out. It takes pressure off of you and it takes pressure off of them. So just something simple like, if not, no worries. Like, that's so easy to put at the end of a sentence. So I'll pull this back up in a minute and you guys can take pictures, but you're getting to the point where you can ask this question, hey, so I know this is so random, but I have something I would love your thoughts on. So I know you are X. I'm working on a project that I'd love to see if you're open to it, if it wouldn't interfere with what you're already doing. If not, no worries. So I'm going to go through the next market, and then we'll talk about what if they say yes, what kind of like what the response is after that. So the next group of people is your warm market. Okay, these are people you had a prior relationship with. Maybe they were an old coworker, an old sorority sister, an old person you knew from church camp, a person that is a friend of your mom's. Like, there's someone that you had a prior relationship with but don't talk to on a regular basis. Maybe they're a high school best friend, but you kind of lost touch. It can be a strong or a weak relationship, but you need to have a way to contact them, whether it's social media, text, phone or email. So think of something that has to do with this person. Think of something nice, and then you're going to start really simple. Hey, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in forever. Like, that's what you're going to send them, just really clear and simple. Once they respond, they're probably like, oh, it's so good to hear from you. Things are whatever. Like, they're going to tell you about their life maybe. And then you could say, oh, that's awesome. And then you're going to that's a comment in response to their life that they told you about. And then you're going to do the same thing. Share briefly about your life and say, it's so great to hear, to hear what you're up to, or it's so great to catch up with you. And then you're going to kind of get to the ask. You're going to say, hey, I know we haven't chatted in a long time, and I definitely want to do that at some point. But that's actually not why I reached out to you today. I remember you being such a blank, such a open-minded person. I remember you being such a connector. I remember you being always up for new things. I remember you being super adventurous, like whatever it is you remember about then. And say, I'm actually working on a project, and I'd love to see if you're open to it, if it wouldn't interfere with what you're already doing. If not, no worries. So you're just asking if they're open to learning about what you're doing. Here are some examples of how it could look for a warm market. Hey, Susie, I know we haven't caught up in such a long time, and I definitely want to, but I wanted to get your thoughts on something. So I know you're such an open and amazing person, and while I know we talked a bit before about what I do, so this is for someone who might already know what you do, I wanted to ask you something. Actually, I'm working on a project, and I'd love to see if you're open to it, if it wouldn't interfere with what you're already doing. If not, no worries. So that's one example. That's for someone who might, follow you and know what you're doing, or you might have had some kind of conversation with in the past. Another example is, hey, Susie, I know we haven't caught up in such a long time, and I want to hear more about mom life. Your little boys are darling, but wanted to get your thoughts on something. So I know you're such an open and amazing person, and I wanted to ask you a question, or I wanted to ask you something. Actually, I'm working on a project, and I'd love to see if you're open to it, if it wouldn't interfere with what you are already doing. If not, no worries. So if they say yes, here's what you do. And this can really be for the hot market or the warm market. It's pretty similar for both. You're going to say, well, you may or may not know, I work in the health and wellness field, and I've started a personal initiative through the end of the year to partner up with more, insert the type of person that's similar to them, to more outgoing people, to more health conscious moms, like whatever it is about them, to spread the powerful message of better nutrition for more families, as so many are struggling with sickness. And so I wanted to see if you'd be open to learning more about what I do and see if it could be a fit to partner up and help more families have better health. That's one example. And I'll share these in a second with you guys. Another example is, as you may know, I work from home in the health and wellness field, and I started a personal initiative through the end of the year to partner up with, insert the type of person that connects with them, to spread the powerful message of holistic nutrition to more families, as so many are struggling with sickness. And so I wanted to see if you would be open to learning more about what I do and see if it could be a fit to partner up and help more families with their health and nutrition. If they say yes, then you're going to ask them to watch some videos or connect with you on a 15-minute call to learn more. And then you're going to schedule a time to follow up, just like the GoPro. You want to ask them to watch a video, and then you might say something like, hey, I'd love to get your thoughts while it's still fresh on your mind. When do you think you'll get a chance to watch it? Simple. So the videos that Casey recommended are What is Juice Plus, either the What is Juice Plus or What is Juice Plus and how it's made. That is on Vimeo. And then the business video, she gets them from the missiondrivenmodel.info. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to share my screen and show you guys these videos. I'm not going to play it, but. So this one is Vimeo. I could just Google Vimeo, What is Juice Plus, or Vimeo, What is Juice Plus and how it's made. And this will come up, but it's a 4-minute little video on Juice Plus. And then the Mission Driven Model has missiondriven.info/what-is-JPVF. That's Juice Plus Virtual Franchise. But this Come Join Us video is awesome. It's 2 minutes and 42 seconds. This Freedom and Flexibility is awesome. It's 1 minute and 44. Juice Plus Company, it's more about the company, the mission. I really like these two, but there's so many great videos here. And if you go back a screen, they have other videos. So maybe if you don't want just specific business videos, but you want a video for athletes about the business, or the Freedom Project, or health and wellness professionals, or families. Or people that are young millennials, or teachers. So this is going to have great resources of videos specifically for different professions. So just know that Mission Driven Model has great business videos that you can share when you're doing this outreach. So now I'm going to stop my share. Okay. So I'm going to go over the last type of person, and then I'll show you these conversations so you guys can take pictures. So the last market is your cold market, right? You have your hot market, people you know, you talk to regularly. Warm market, people you knew, don't talk to as regularly. And then cold market are people you really just don't know. So you can connect with cold market people in person or online. For example, one way that I'm doing it is I'm going to the library for story time with my daughter every week, and I'm meeting new moms, and I'm asking them if they're on social media, and I'm getting their information so I can follow them or set up a play date sometime. That's a great way to create some new cold market connections. Or online search groups that you're in for posts that give you an opportunity to add value to the people posting and commenting. I'm in a mom's group, and a girl recently posted about her hubby going vegan, and she was kind of like, oh my gosh, he's going vegan. All these moms were commenting, and some of them were like, I was the spouse that went vegan. And so I just started commenting on all of them about how, I shared a little bit about my journey, the ones that were positive. I would comment and say, oh, I've been plant-based for 8 years. And I would tell them about my journey shortly. And then I would say, hey, I have this Facebook group, this Plant Strong Facebook group where we share healthy vegan, our vegan favorites, recipes, tips. Would you like to be added? And I have like 12 new Facebook friends and women that I don't know from Adam that are interested or already trying or starting plant-based that I added to our Plant Strong community, and now I have on my follow-up. So I friended them so that I could add them to the Facebook group, but I also want them to see my personal posts too. So there's so many ways to just make those cold market connections. So once you have this going and you have these people connected, then you can go back to them at some point and say, you think of something maybe that you know about that person, or you scroll their Facebook page and you learn about them really quick, and you can just send them a message and say, hey, how's it going? I'm so glad we connected through MOPS, or I'm so glad we connected through our friend Susie, or I'm so glad we connected at story time, or I'm so glad we connected through the moms group, right? Facebook group. So you're going to just say, hey, how's it going? And you're going to tell them that you are glad you connected. And if they tell you how it's going and what's going on, you just kind of the same. Say, oh, that's awesome. You comment on their response to their life, and then share briefly in one sentence on your life. And then you could say something like, it's so great to connect on Facebook with you, or so great to connect on Instagram with you. And then you send this personal message. Hey, I know we don't know each other that well, and I definitely want to hang out and get to know you more, but that's actually not why I reached out to you today. So I noticed you were such an X. Maybe you noticed they were a connector. Maybe you know they were a super kind-natured person. Maybe you noticed that they were a health-conscious mom. And actually, I'm working on a project, and I'd love to see if you're open to it, if it wouldn't interfere with what you're already doing. If not, no worries. So when they say yes, here's an example. It's really similar to the others. Well, you know, you may or may not know, I work in the health and wellness field, and I've started a personal initiative through the end of the year to partner up with more, you know, something that's similar to this person, to spread the powerful message of better nutrition to more families, as many are struggling with sickness. And so I wanted to see if you'd be open to learning more about what I do and see if it could be a fit to partner up and help families have better health. If they say yes, you're going to offer for them to watch the videos or do a 15-minute call, and then you're going to schedule the follow-up time. So this is a strategy that works. It works if you are consistent with it. And really the goal is to commit to doing this consistently. And so I want you guys to think about each of these areas: the attraction marketing, the hot market, the warm market, the cold market. What can you do weekly for each of these areas? Maybe it's one by one by one. Maybe each week you can have one attraction marketing post. You can do one hot market outreach. You can do one warm market outreach and one cold market outreach. If you did that, your business would grow because every week you're doing something. If you did 2 by 2 by 2, your business would multiply even faster. So I really want you to consider making a list of the people, in each of these areas. And tonight, I'm going to share my screen now, but I want you to think right now before we get off, I want you to write down 2 names of people in the hot market and 2 names of people in the warm market that you can reach out to this week and craft these messages for. So I'm going to share my screen and you guys can see this. And I can also post this as a file in our Facebook group so that it's easy for you guys to have. Okay. So hot market. Here is the example. So if you guys want to take a picture of that or a screenshot, that's going to be your example for the hot market. So this is just like kind of the intro. This is your response. And then this is the personalized, you know, asking the question. And then for warm market, it's really similar. So you guys want to take a picture of this. This is kind of like, I know we haven't chatted in a long time. You kind of get the elephant out of the room before, you know, it's not like you're just building interest to get to ask them the question. You just kind of, you know, get the elephant out of the room immediately and say, hey, I know we haven't talked in a long time, but this is why I'm reaching out to you now. Here's the examples that Casey put together. I don't know why all these little squigglies are getting on the screen, probably me. There's the examples. And if they say yes, this is good. This is what she says in response. Oh, I think somebody else is marking on the screen on accident. But I don't know how to control that. But basically, these are the 2 responses for when people say yes. Like, you may or may not know, or as you may know, I work from home in the health and wellness. These are the 2 videos that you guys can take a picture of or write down to remind yourself where they are. You can just save them on your phone in your notes. It's going to be really helpful so that these conversations are easier. And then this is the cold market person. This is someone that you just met or you don't know personally, but you can still use this message for. So any questions, you guys? You can comment or unmute yourself. Let's see. Is it clear? So I want to know, who are you guys' two people? Can you guys put in the chat your two people that you thought of for hot market and two people for warm market? I would love to see who you can directly apply this to. And really, the goal is just starting it by saying, hey, how's it going? Like, that's not hard, right? You don't have to send them the whole thing yet. You just, two people in hot market and two people in warm market that you're just going to start the conversation. You're going to say, hey, how's it going? Or you're going to say, hey, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in forever. Like, those are the things you're going to do immediately tonight after this call, or this week. Let me see the chat. Let's see. Yes, I'm going to post this document in the Team Plant Strong, but I want you guys to comment here, because one of the things we're changing about our team calls, we want them to be interactive, and we want them to be productive, to where you walk away having a next step that you can immediately act upon, either right after the call or tomorrow. But if you don't have those two people in mind, then it's a lot harder to take that next step. So I made my list. Where is it? So think about it. I want you guys to tell me two names or four names. So my hot market is going to be Holly, one of my neighbors who just ordered last weekend. Amanda, who is a shake orderer, and her son was just in the hospital because he's been really sick. And so she reached out. She's going to order for her son. My friend Candace. And then my warm market is a girl who basically three girls who wanted to be a part of the Croctober. I went back to my Croctober list and I was like, that's warm market. You know, I haven't talked to them much, but they wanted to be a part of Croctober. So I have a little rapport with them. And then another girl that I was just messaging about on Instagram, she's a college friend. And we started messaging because of a book that I posted that I read, and I asked if other people had read it. So there's lots of ways to start those. So Emily has people. She has Mandy and Sharon, Laurel or Betty or Sabrina, Gina and Bree. Awesome. Who else? Annie and Mahi. Mahi. Sorry if I butchered that, Sabrina. Fran and Agnes. Okay, awesome. Who else? Lindsay, Trisha, you got anyone? Joanne and Kelly. Awesome. Lindsay has Molly, college friend. Melissa, college friend. Michelle. Are you saying I'm hot? Thank you. Jonathan. Jonathan's also hot. Definitely. She said I'm definitely hot. That's awesome. Anyone else? This is so exciting. Look at all these people. I wish I knew who the Samsung person is, because I like you. Oh, Kim. Hey, Kim. I'm so glad you're on the call. You're funny. Awesome.
Hey,
anyone
Michelle?
else? Yes?
Can you hear me? I was just going to share a quick win from yesterday. We
Please.
went to the little jump jam place that they have for toddlers on Monday mornings. And I wore my shirt that you gave me, Powered by Plants.
Oh,
and I had a mom that was like, oh, she was like, I love your shirt. She's like, we've been vegan for 4 years. And so we just started talking, and now we're friends on Facebook. And I'm told her that I would plug her into our Plant Strong community.
Awesome. That's so great. That'd be a great example of a cold market win, right?
Yeah, it was great. It was perfect.
Yeah, it's so cool whenever you just, put it out there, right? It's kind of like attraction marketing too, because you're putting it out there by wearing this shirt, or, wearing something with Juice Plus or Plant Strong, or even carrying around the Plant Strong mugs I got some of you guys a while back, like you just never know whose path you're gonna cross. So, well, thank you guys for being brave, for sharing your names, and really, I'll post this right now after this call. I'll go on Team Plant Strong in the files and I'll post this document. And that way you guys can start if you want to start tonight. But really, these people that you listed, just go to them and say, you know, if they're a warm market, you know, hey, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in forever. Or I haven't talked to you in like, since maybe, you know, like since a Christmas party you saw them at last year, right? Whatever you want to say. And then if they're a hot market, you can just be like, hey, how's your week going? Like, just start the conversation. That's really the goal of tonight, is to get you guys to start the conversation. So thank you for being on. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night. We hope to see you. Tell your teammates it's Tuesday night now. We want as many people as possible to get this great information and be able to start participating in our interactive calls and trainings. And we will be back here next Tuesday night. So thank you guys so much. And I hope you guys have a great evening. Bye.
Bye.